K.Luke, batch number 2 of their Toasted Barrel Bourbon, coming in at 118.2 proof. Again, a blend of that high and low rye mash bill, distilled out of Kentucky and Indiana. Been a huge fan of what K.Luke has put out, prior to these releases and just their other most recent release that they put out the same time as this Toasted Barrel Bourbon. Definitely excited to get into this one, guys. Without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, so as I stated, this one comes in at 118.2 proof and is a blend of that high and low rye distilled out of Kentucky and Indiana. Let's get in the nose. So on the nose, there's, again, those like 3 kind of components. You get that sweetness of that toasted, which gives you that marshmallow effect there on the nose. But then I do start to pull out more of, I feel like that rye. I do get a lot more citrus of that lemon and that orange peel. But again, further into the glass, you are still pulling out some of those more traditional style bourbon notes, the caramels, vanillas, a little bit of that brown sugar on the nose. Very inviting nose, very sweet. Again, that marshmallow kind of toastiness, again, very inviting to the nose. Let's get into the palate, guys. Cheers. They do such a great job of blending these together. So this one, on the palate, still very similar to that of the nose. Again, a lot of that rich kind of caramel and toasted kind of marshmallow sweetness there up at the front of the palate. Not too much vanilla there on the palate. Middle of the palate, you start to get that nice little bite of spice across the center there. And it actually transitions into the back. To me, it might drink a little spicier than that 118. But it'll kind of fool you between that rye spice and that proof, because I mean 118 is not super high, but it's not low either. But nice spice again as it kind of transitions into the back, and that sweetness from that like caramel marshmallow kind of flow through. A little bit of like black pepper there on the back. The brown sugar sweetness though has kind of flown from the front to the back of the palate and into the finish. Very, very sweet, but then also having that touch of spice there to kind of offset that sweetness is nice. Let's get in the second sip. So the more this kind of opens up, the more that like brown sugar marshmallow transition starts to happen. Rye spice starts to kind of tone down a little bit now. Kind of opens up for some more of that citrus now, like more of that rye flavor, what that rye provides, a lot of that citrus now starting to hit the sides of the palate, more of an orange than a lemon, but then combining with that brown sugar and like that sweetness of that marshmallow that flows through. Again, spiciness still kind of there. I feel it more on the back of the palate and do that like center strip in the mid. Nice finish on this one though, surprisingly. So at first sip, I would say it was like a short to medium finish. Second sip now, I'd say more along the lines of that medium to long finish. Flavors kind of sit there and stick to the tongue for a little while. Let's get a last sip, guys. Cheers. Third sip, a lot of that spiciness has pretty much died down now, and again, it brought forth more of that citrus, like more of that orange, more so than lemon, but it's almost like a mixture of the two. The only kind of spiciness I'm getting still is more across the back of the palate with that black pepper, but that's also blended in with some of that brown sugar, kind of marshmallow, caramel, kind of combined there into the back of the palate. But I tell you, they do such a phenomenal job of blending over there, and it's they won several awards here, and they're for good reason. I think that again the blending capabilities are absolutely there. The quality of the product is absolutely there. When you combine the two, it's a hit. So, fantastic toasted batch number 2 here, guys. K.Luke. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. I want to give a shout out to the team over at K.Luke for supplying with the sample here to review on the channel. Guys, again, very, very sweet on the palate. Offers that little bit of spice there on that, first and second sip. Mainly kind of sticking around the back of the palate. Again, blended very well. They do an amazing job of blending over there with obviously high quality ingredients. When you put the two together, it's a match made in heaven. But hats off to you guys over at K.Luke for a fantastic Toasted Barrel Bourbon batch number 2. Guys, if you're looking for more reviews like this, hit that subscribe button, bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. You also find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. Till next time, guys, stay dusty.